Thank you, Steve. It's supposed to take a lot of the subjectivity out of parole decisions, but some say it's just taking money out of your pocket. A 3-year-old computer system that costs millions of dollars, according to one state official. Even its critics say it has a lot of potential, but for all that money, are we using it properly? Just today, this report came out that says people in parole are making good choices. Recidivism is down, this report says. We take a look at all this because you paid for it. If you pay big money for something, you expect people to say it works.
And in fact, it's not working.
Assemblymember Daniel O'Donnell is the chairman of the Assembly Committee on Correction. The New York State parole system that he says is not working relies on a fairly new multi-million-dollar tool called Compass. The computer program uses a number of factors to assess the risk posed by prison inmates who are being considered for parole. Parole officers say it takes away too much of the human element.
Parole has always been successful when the parole officer knows the parolee, knows their family, could intervene when necessary. That's when parole works. A computer doesn't do that. A parole officer does that.
But here's the thing, is this multi-million-dollar system even being used? Daniel O'Donnell says it's not.
It's ignored by the parole board, so you have the system where someone gets a score that says there's no risk, and yet they get kept in. And the other part of it is the risk assessment accurate?
He's not the only one to say Compass is being ignored. Former parole board chair Edward HAMMOCK told the New York Law Journal, quote, "It is my impression that nothing is really happening. Why do a risk assessment if you are not going to deal with it when considering someone for release?" And this is an excerpt from a Supreme Court justice's ruling on a case where a prisoner challenged the state parole board decision. Quote, "While a compass was performed here, there is no indication in the parole hearing minutes, the board's decision, or anywhere else in the record that the commissioners charged with weighing petitioner's release even viewed, much less considered, the compass risk assessment in making their determination. The mere existence of a compass risk assessment in an inmate's file, as here, is not enough." End quote.
So clearly the system's not working. The Compass tool was set up as a mechanism to try to assist. If it needs to be adjusted, it should be adjusted, but we have to find better ways to do it than we currently are.
So do you think it needs to be adjusted?
It absolutely needs to be adjusted.
But in a report just issued Monday, the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, which oversees the parole board, says the numbers tell a different story. The study tracks the 24,000 plus parolees released in the last 3 years, basically since Compass went into effect, and found that only 9% were sent back to prison on a new felony conviction, the lowest rate since tracking of such things began. The acting DOCS commissioner, Anthony Annucci, says, quote, "Despite some statements to the contrary, the state's Compass tool is proving to be beneficial in reducing recidivism, and no one can or should place a price tag on such success." Is the state of New York getting its money out of this system?
In my estimation, they're wasting money. They could take those same resources and invest them in more parole officers, because basically that's what we need. If we could have more parole officers to supervise, to bring those caseloads down so we can know that person and supervise them the way we used to, then we can make a difference.
I can tell you Compass is now being used at many different levels in this state, and we'll keep you updated on its status and any adjustments that may or may not come. And don't forget, if you know of a possible case of wasted taxpayer dollars, let me know about it. Email me at youpaidforit@cbs6albany.com.